Hello?
Shabbat. Hello. He was here a minute ago.
Did it turn off from the bottom?
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Is it turn? No, because you have to turn it on there. Now it will work.
It was working a minute ago.
Hello. There we go. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Congregation Near to Meet. Whether you're here in person or here via the internet, we're glad to welcome you to services this evening for Kabbalat Shabbat. Rabbi and Cantor are off this evening, so Corinne Hochman and I am Pamela Henderson are honored to be leading you in worship this evening. We begin with song.
Please feel free to join me. Shiru Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru Adonai shir chadash. I will sing unto God a new song.
Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished. Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat, abide. We turn to page 121 for the lighting of Shabbat candles. Carol Holdengraver, would you please come up and do the honor?
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who entered the sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של Shabbat.
Thank you, Carol. We now turn to page 142 for Shalom Aleichem as we ask the angels to join us.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachim Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. בי מלך מלאכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without divine presence. We turn to page 146 and rise for Baruch Hu.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Yadalai, 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 yadalai,
We continue on page 148. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the season, arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name, ever-living God. May you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv aravim. We turn now, please, to page 152 for Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever. Please be seated. Join me in the chanting of V'ahavta on page 154. Oh, we have kinder in the congregation. Come, children.
Bar mitzvah and bat mitzvah preparing, kinder. Come on.
Come on.
You have to.
We'll do it with you.
Yeah, we're all together. Come on.
Okay, go. One of you stand over here and share a book, okay? All right, let's go. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברתם בעם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ושכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטפטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Mazel tov. It's beautiful.
יישר כוח.
Nicely done. All righty. Where am I going? Here we go. In a world torn by violence and pain, in a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. We turn, please, to page 158 for Micha Mocha. Please join me on page 161 for the reading of Hashkivenu. Give us a place to rest, Adonai. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, your Sukkot Shlomecha, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. We continue on page 162 with Vishamru.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם לברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם לברית עולם. בני ובן בני ישראל, בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת,
לעשות את השבת לדורותם לברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם לברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם לברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם לברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבות וידפש, שבות וידפש, שבות וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם לברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם לברית עולם.
Pray as if everything depended on God. Act as if everything depended on you. We turn to 164 and rise for tefillah.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilotecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praises. Baruch atah Adonai. No. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu,
Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu,
Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקודש הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל, אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך מביט ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה
Please be seated. At this time, we call to mind those in our circle of family and friends are feeling ill, are struggling, are in need of our comfort and support. We think of Bessie de la Malera, Jean-Marc Chaubert, Logan Knapp, and the Knapp family, Valerie Rocher, Yirmiyahu Ben Sarah, Joseph Liebman, Ed Mutton, Marlene Settle, Paul Shapiro, and Stephen Grau. If there's anyone in your heart this evening that you're thinking about, please stand, and as I turn to face you, please say their names, as many names as are on your heart this evening.
Nafar Bat Aliza.
שברח אבותינו מקור הברכה אמותינו. May the source of strength, who is the one before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu מקור הברכה לאבותינו. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Good Shabbos. This past year has been full of a lot of new stuff in my life. In addition to a new husband and a new job, I now have a new house. It's been quite a year. That means that I moved this year. Actually, between May of 21 and May of 22, I moved my stuff 6 times. On a professional level, I first moved my stuff from my classroom to the school library. After 15 years teaching English in the same room, I had accumulated quite a bit of stuff. And even though I wasn't going to use most of it in my new role as the librarian, I still had to move it out of the classroom for the incoming teacher so she would have room for her stuff. Then last week, I moved my stuff out of the school library and into storage, because after 16 years at Sierra Vista High School, it was time to move on. But my new school isn't quite ready yet, as it's still under construction. So my stuff will wait until July, when I will get to move it again. On a personal level, John and I sold our home in Arizona and moved our stuff into storage here in Las Vegas, pending the purchase of a house. Last week, we moved most of our stuff from storage into the new house. We also moved most of our stuff from our apartment into the new house. Needless to say, there's still a lot of extra stuff that we don't have room for. So that stuff is still sitting in storage, waiting to be sold, donated, handed down, trashed, or otherwise disposed of. So standing in the middle of our storage unit made me think of George Carlin, one of the greatest comic minds of our time. He's gone now, but YouTube has granted him immortality. And as a result, I'm still able to watch his shtick, making honest observations about human nature. One of George Carlin's funniest routines is called Stuff. In it, he considers the importance of stuff in our lives, how we accumulate it, then have to find a place to store it, or move it, or clean it, protect it, fix it, and ultimately part with it because, as we all know, you can't take it with you. In his monologue, Carlin makes the following observation. That's the whole meaning of life, isn't it? Trying to find a place for your stuff. That's all your house is, after all. Your house is just a place for your stuff. If you didn't have so much stuff, you wouldn't need a house. You could just walk around all the time. That's all your house is, a pile of stuff with a cover on it. It's a place to keep your stuff while you go out and get more stuff. Now, sometimes you gotta move. You gotta get a bigger house. Why? Too much stuff. Now you gotta move all your stuff and maybe put some of your stuff in storage. Imagine that. There's a whole industry based on keeping an eye on your stuff. And we laugh because it's true. And yet, I had to do some serious thinking as I stood in the storage unit that holds my stuff. How much of this stuff do I really need? My decision, I feel, is based on practicality. If it doesn't have a place in my house, or at least in the garage, then I probably don't need it. For example, I own 12 Pyrex pans, 5 wine decanters, and 2 variety packs of springform pans. Do I really need all of them? Probably not. Goodwill, here I come. Some items needed to be sold. Through Facebook Marketplace, Poshmark, and ThreadUp, I sold some lighting fixtures, a few pairs of shoes, I fear I will never wear heels again, and some one-and-done formal dresses. John parted with some of his musical equipment. He sold one of his guitar amps, and maybe we'll do the same with this set of microphones. We'll see. There is some money to be found online, and it's nice to know that someone else will use the stuff. It's better than paying to keep it in storage or having it collect dust in the garage. But other items were not so easily disposed of. One of the boxes I found contained something I have never used and never will. A collection of Yiddish records, 78 RPM records to be exact, that belonged to my grandmother Edith. They came to me after she passed in 2012. No one else in the family would take them, but none of us could bear throwing them away. So since then, they have moved 3 times along with my other stuff, but not this time. I made a post on Facebook and asked the Jewish world for ideas, and I found a taker. A Jewish radio station in New Jersey took them off my hands and now shares them with its listening audience. And all I had to do was pay for shipping. Very nice. Very nice. I wanted them to be out there. And yet there are boxes of stuff that I never use and that I rarely even look at, but I just can't bring myself to get rid of them. I have boxes of old photographs, books, and certificates that have moved from garage to storage unit to garage. I have wine glasses that belong to my grandmother and the rocking chair in which I nursed my babies that for sentimental reasons are still in my possession. I know I don't need them, but I will do my best to find a place for them. Because at the end of the day, it's not really the stuff that we need. Well, okay, there is some stuff that we do need. According to Mr. Carlin, that includes the clothes that fit you this month, money, keys, comb, wallet, hanky pens, and a book. And I guess we could probably add cell phones to that list. But much of the other stuff we own is not really stuff we need. Instead, it's stuff that we like. It brings us joy, like art and books and records and sports equipment. Or it's stuff that reminds us of a place, time, or person that brought us joy, like the souvenirs we purchased on an exotic vacation or the framed photographs of deceased relatives. I could, I'm sure, be perfectly fine if I had to get rid of all of that stuff, but I would miss the joy that it brings me. There's a movie that I show when I teach about the Holocaust. It's called Friendship in Vienna. At the end of the film, a Jewish family is about to flee Austria in the wake of the Anschluss. The mother pokes her head into her daughter's room as 12-year-old Inga is packing a bag to take with her. Mom gently reminds her, "Take only what you really need." Inga replies, "Yes, I know," as she tucks a snow globe into her bag. The snow globe had been a gift from her best friend, the daughter of an SS officer, whom Inga knows she will never see again. Did she need the snow globe? No. And yes. It was symbolic of all the stuff she was leaving behind, of all the stuff that she couldn't take with her. Our homes are, as George Carlin says, piles of stuff with a cover on it. That stuff can become overwhelming dust-collecting clutter that we clean and fix and pack and move and occasionally sit down and sort through in a ceremonial purge. And yet, much of that stuff is so much more than that. It represents who we are, what we've accomplished, where we've been, whom we've loved, and maybe lost. I know I can't take it all with me, but for now, I will do my best to find a place worthy for all my stuff. Shabbat Shalom. At this time, I'm going to ask Del Acosta to please come up and share some brief announcements with you before we conclude our service with Aleinu and Kaddish.
Is that better? Can you hear me now? Thank you. Just a few announcements. Tomorrow on Saturday, June the 4th, join us for Shavuot Yizkor service in our memorial garden at 7 p.m. And at 7:30, Larry Cooperman will give a representation called A Brief Overview of the 1,000-Year History of the Jews of Ukraine. After the program, attendees will enjoy light refreshments and dairy desserts, including cheesecake and ice cream. Rabbi Axelrod is offering a two-part or part two to his popular Wrestling with God's class. Register on CNT's website for this Zoom class that will meet on Wednesday, June the 22nd, June the 29th, July the 6th at 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. And Pamela Henderson will be teaching a series of Intro to Judaism and Intro to Hebrew classes on Tuesday this summer from June the 14th through July the 26th. Classes will start at 6:30 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Register now for CNT's website. On Sunday, June the 12th, CNT's Children is hosting an event at the Hollywood Car Museum from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. The cost is $15 per person, cash only. The group will then enjoy an early dinner at Brio Italian Grill in Town Square, located at the 2:15 and the 15. RSVP to Mindy by Friday, June the 10th. Now is the time to enroll in the Gary and Lynn Kenner Early Childhood Education Center preschool. Schedule your tour today by calling our office at 702-733-6292 and inquire about our early bird specials and referral program. To shop at the CNT Sisterhood Mark L. Fine and Family Gift Shop this summer, please call ahead for an appointment. Either Kathy Lindqvist at 702-521-8651 and Cheryl Cohen, 702-755-1737. Proceeds help support Sisterhood Fund Fourth Youth Scholarships for CNT religious school students. Shabbat Shalom.
We rise and turn to page 586 for the Aleinu. And yes, we do
עלינו לשבח אדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות אדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. As we approach the end of the service, our thoughts turn to people that we've cared about, who've been part of our lives, who have left. People that we have lost this week or in years past. At this time in particular, we think of those who are on our Kaddish list for this week: Richard Frank, Margaret Reedy, Rose Goldberg, and David Yabko. We also think of those on our Yahrzeit list, those people whose anniversary of death occurred this week: Annie Antikal, David Blumenfeld, Faye Colin, Robert Deacon, Abraham Fagatner, William Fine, Esther Gennin, Rose Goldberg, Robert Golovner, Julia Graber, Barbara Greenspun, Victor Herber, Terry Hipsman, Annie Holden, Marion Keller, Jerry Leschgold, Irene Miller, Jack Miller, Mildred Pomerantz, Edith Reback, Shana Rosenberg, Mickey Rofberg, Etta Scheld, Rose Sherman, Rosalind Silverman, Mildred Ward, Howard Watman, Thelma Wiedenfeld, and Marty Winnick. If anybody in the congregation is thinking of someone tonight for Kaddish or Yahrzeit, please stand and say their name as I turn to face you. Thank you. We turn to page 598 and rise as one caring congregation for Kaddish. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי. בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל. בעלה לזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם מלמי עמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו. לעילם מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel. And we say together, amen. Please be seated. Before we do our final song, I just want to thank a few people for helping out this evening. Eddie Simon, thank you, keeping the lights on. Della Costa, Eddie Birch, and my partner in crime this evening, Corinne Hochman. Thank you very much.
And for
It was a
Pam
pleasure.
Anderson. Thank
What's our final song?
you. Oseh Shalom.
Beautiful.
Please join.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו amen.
And don't leave. I almost forgot. We can't leave without Kiddush and Motzi. So I'm going to invite up anyone who has ever been a student of mine, past, present, or future. If you've ever taken one of my classes, by choice or under duress, come on up and join us for Kiddush and Motzi, please.
Yeah, that includes Hebrew school.
That's why I said under duress, yeah.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
תודה רבה. תודה. Thank you. Shabbat shalom.
We got two more coming. It is half the room. How about that?
Everybody up.
About that.
Okay.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. L'chaim. That's good juice. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'tei avon. Thank you, all of you, for joining us this evening. We wish you a Shabbat Shalom.
Long time. Very nice, very nice.
So I was telling John, you had a way to get us up here. You knew.
Was it my hand signal that reminded you?
No. Oh, it did.
Yeah, I was going.
I looked over here and I